what's her name's body, JJ's body.
Yes.
Who's been lying there undisturbed in this massive engine room for
It's
ages.
because the one guy that works there hasn't found her yet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so big.
And then, Jason throws him into the control panel, and his penis bursts into flames.
It does.
It's just that area. Oh my god! His
sparks start flying, and
his penis fire rages out of control and sets fire to other things.
Yeah, this doesn't affect the engines though.
No,
at
all.
all. The ship is fine.
Yeah,
and then Jason sets the fire alarm off. The fire doesn't.
No,
Jason sets the fire alarm
Jason's
off.
worried for these kids.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Wendy, I'm home.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
Go and take your friends with you!
Garbage day!
Huh?
No!
Get off my plane.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's what made you did!
I lied.
I haven't written an intro. Oh,
Oh no!
oh no. Hello and welcome to Movies to Drink To. My name is Finn.
I'm Mr. Smith.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Today's episode we are talking about Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yes.
Yes. Why are you doing Part 8? Why are you doing? You start with the first one, do them all. Shut up. My show, do what I want.
I don't have to. There are such varying degrees of crapness as well. We don't have to do all of them. And
Yeah.
there's so many.
This is the only one I was really in the mood to watch.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing it. Before we go on, don't forget to like and subscribe to this.
Yes.
Subscribe.
We have finally we've we've gone past the 100 mark on the subscribers.
Yeah, we're into the giddy stratosphere
Oh.
of 100 plus subscribers.
It's, honestly, the fame won't change me. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, but do that, thanks. Okay. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Directed by Rob Hedden.
Yes,
Nope.
he's done some TV stuff since. I think I did look quickly, but
Did nothing that you were like, oh, wow.
No.
No, same. It stars Kane Hodder as Jason, Jensen Daggett, Scott Reeves, and just a bunch of other people I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Most of these, if you go on their IMDb, the top one is known for Jason Takes Manhattan. So this is, yeah. Anyway, the plot of this is...
The plot is Jason Voorhees is accidentally awakened from his watery grave, and he ends up stalking a ship full of graduating high school students heading to Manhattan, New York.
Cool. Sounds good on
Sounds banging.
paper.
Yeah. Imagine Jason in the whole of New York.
I know.
God.
That 80s New York.
I cannot wait.
Yes, and this film starts with loads of shots of shitty, dirty 80s New York.
It thinks it's Taxi Driver.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like this weird voiceover, which is similar to the rain should come and wash all the filth off the streets.
This is during the opening shots and like the title card and all this, and you see like mugging and dirty New York. There's a voiceover that says this. It's like this. We live in claustrophobia, the land of steel and concrete, trapped by dark waters. There is no escape, nor do we want it. We've come to thrive on it and each other. You can't get the adrenaline pumping without the terror, good people. I love this town.
Yep.
Who is that?
Don't know.
No idea. I'm assuming they're talking obviously about New York.
Well, yeah.
But who that is talking, I've no idea. I even Googled all of that to see, like, is that a quote from something?
Yeah.
No.
No, it was written for the film.
Yep.
And yeah, it's nobody. It doesn't seem to be anybody in the film.
No. Wouldn't it appear not? No.
So weird.
In the opening as well, there's like obviously all the different shots, and there's the stuff in the diner, like a few shots of stuff going on in a diner, and there's a guy on the right hand side. He's obviously just an extra, and he's just sat there doing nothing, not pretending to talk to anyone or drink a coffee. He's literally just sat there doing nothing for a moment, and then he looks straight at the camera, and then he realizes he's like, he looks away, he realizes he's not meant to.
I did notice there's a shot of the like an escalator in the subway, and there's a woman, and she's coming down, and then she kind of looks towards the camera and she kind of changes her mind, and then she just starts going, because she's coming down the up escalator for some reason.
What?
And then she just changes her mind and just stands there and goes up. What is happening?
Did you tell these people they were being filmed? Yeah. This doesn't think there was. Anyway, yeah, our little opening montage title card is pretty cool, actually. It actually kind of gives the illusion that this could be a good film.
Yeah.
Anyway, say goodbye to New York for a while.
For the
Yeah.
majority of the film.
Yes. As we head over to Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
There's a couple on a boat.
Yeah, for a second there, I was like, how is Camp Crystal Lake open again? It's all lit up.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is it open again? Why have they not learned? Why? Just close it down. But it's not open. It's just powered for some reason.
It's just someone paid the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple on a boat getting hot and heavy. Jimmy and Susie
Yeah.
making whoopee.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which, as we all know, pisses Jason right off.
Yes, it does.
The massive cock block that he is.
So, yeah, the boat. You see the boat just kind of going along.
Yeah.
And then you see the couple, the two people on the boat.
Yeah.
And then they have a bit of back and forth. And then Jimmy, the guy, he's like, I got to go throw the anchor over.
Yeah.
It's like, so you've just been drifting
Yeah.
all this time. Why now?
Not paying any attention to where the boat is
Yeah,
going.
why are you now having to throw the anchor over?
Yeah. Who's driving?
No one. They're the only
Just
two on the
floating,
boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just fucking gonna go and throw the anchor over as it fucking slams into the side. But yeah, he starts telling her about Jason, doesn't he?
Yes, he basically retells the story of the first film.
Yeah,
Yeah. And he throws the anchor over and it lands next to a power cable.
yeah.
And this is the
Which
world's...
is how Camp Crystal Lake is being powered.
Yes.
For no reason.
It's also the world's worst anchor because it does not anchor the boat.
No.
It's still moving along the
It just
seafloor.
scroots along.
And it rips into the power cable and all this electric flies up. It, electrocutes the water. And this brings Jason's corpse back to life, which is still at the bottom of Camp Crystal Lake.
Well, whoever has laid this cable laid it directly underneath Jason's body.
Yeah.
There's some plates. Whoever's laying it, it's gone. Oh, there's a body. Just go under it. Just go under the body.
Well, the body landed on it.
Yeah, well, I refuse to believe that was there before.
So, Jason has been brought back to life. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, and
Back on the boat, Jimmy, he's going to scare Susie.
that's it.
Yeah, he
So
jumps out on her in a hockey mask.
We get the obligatory in every slasher film from the 80s ever, where the girl is like, "Stop screwing around."
Yeah.
Like,
Come
every
on, quit
time.
it. Yeah, he jumps out and he fake stabs her with
Yeah.
a fake knife because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's a proper shit thing to do.
Yeah. And then they go off to have more sex.
Yes.
Yes. And Jason gets on the boat at this point, though, and
Yep.
takes the hockey mask that he left behind.
Yeah,
It's
which is
that'll
handy.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Handy
looking
as
for
fuck.
one of these since I lost my last one. And Jason busts in on their sexy time with a harpoon.
Yep.
And he
Harpoon gun, yeah.
he fires the harpoon,
And misses.
misses. So then he stabs Jimmy with the backup
With
harpoon,
the gun.
the actual
Like,
thing
it's
itself.
The gun itself.
Ah,
It
right.
Stabs him in the gut with the gun. Because, what's her name? Susie legs
Runs
it out
off,
the window. And was his name Jimmy?
Yeah.
Just lays there staring with his mouth open. Like, ah. And then, yeah, Jason just fucking jams the gun into his gut.
Oh.
Which is weird.
Yeah. And he pulls his guts out.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's dead.
He is dead.
Then he goes and kills Susie slowly.
Well,
really
literally-
slowly.
Yeah, she hides in like the only place on the boat to hide, like
Mm-hmm.
really. So Jason finds her immediately, like opens the hatch, and she's like there, and like yeah, as you say, she's like no, and he's like dun, 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 like just slowly going down with this harpoon like
It's
for
like-
an hour.
Yeah, it's like Larry Austin Powers. The guy's like, no, for
Exactly
ages.
it.
It's like, get up and run away, woman. She dies because she's too slow,
Yeah.
basically. The
So
next
Jason
day,
has a boat now.
Yeah. Well, this is yeah. I don't. So yeah, he has the boat.
Yeah, I guess
don't
so.
know. The next day, anyway, or whenever, we're now over at a harbour
Yes.
of some sort, and we meet Rennie,
Mm-hmm.
which is something you take for indigestion,
Yes,
but also the name of our leading lady.
it is indeed. She's with her favourite teacher.
I thought it was her mum.
I think everybody ever did, like until she says like, "Oh, you're like my best student," or something, and then she gives her like Stephen King's pen.
Yeah,
So I'll
she
give you
gives
this
her the.
pen. Stephen King used to use it. It's like a quill.
Yeah.
It may as well have a feather on it.
I know, it's
I'm pretty sure Stephen King didn't use that. No. Was he Victorian?
He's not that old. Yeah. Yeah, Rennie is being dropped off at the harbour by her mum/teacher. We're not sure.
Yeah.
They've also got a dog with them that's nervous about the trip.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. And gifts her. I'm pretty sure it's her teacher, but also her. I swear she calls her mum at one point.
No, because her parents are dead. But you
They
don't find
are.
out until the last 5 minutes of the film.
Yes. Anyway, it gives her a present, and it is allegedly Stephen King's pen.
Yeah.
Okay. They have a hug. And at this point, the boat from earlier that Jimmy and Susie were on arrives at the harbour.
Yeah.
From the lake. From the lake.
From the lake. Yeah.
The landlocked body of water. The boat arrives.
Yeah. Jason has hoisted it.
Carried it.
Carried it over. What's that fucking film? With,
is it Fitzcarraldo?
yeah, that's it. Just carries the boat across.
Yeah, it doesn't make any. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I actually looked this up because I was like, not all lakes are totally landlocked.
Yeah.
The lake, obviously, Camp Crystal Lake is not a real place.
No.
But the place they filmed the original in is 70 miles inland of Manhattan.
Yeah.
So, no,
that did not happen.
No, it did
is
not
what we're saying.
at all.
Even with Jason at the helm, that did not happen.
Also, the boat arrives; it just kind of floats in like a ghost ship,
Yeah.
and there's blood all up on the windows.
Yeah, no one notices it apart from that one deckhand.
Yeah, and he doesn't mention it to anyone.
No.
It's never mentioned ever. No. Anyway, yeah. So they've got this ship, kind of a ship, more like a ferry, isn't it?
It's basically it's a bit of a junker. This thing. And
Yeah.
they're really
A small ship, a large boat.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, they're like, well, we're taking these kids on a cruise. I mean, cruise is generous, like for what this is. This is basically something that could be used to get from one side of a river to the other.
Yeah.
It's not really going any further.
No. But they plan to sail this thing up the eastern seaboard.
Yeah,
To
there's no way
Manhattan.
anyone's taking a bunch of kids on this boat. This is a working boat. I mean, it has some purpose.
Yeah, this is the idea is it's some kind of school graduation cruise.
Yeah.
To treat the kids as they've now graduated.
Something like that.
All like 8 of them. This whole school had 8 kids.
It fluctuates.
That's how many kids are on there.
There's like the main cast, and then there's other kids that appear and disappear at various different points in the film.
So they get on the ship, the boat, the ferry. We're not sure.
Yeah.
I think the principal or one of the head teachers, he's pissed off that Rennie is there. He's also her legal guardian, and he knows what's best for her.
We find out he's Uncle Charlie.
Uncle Charles.
That's how I referenced him for the rest of the film.
But he's referred to as Uncle Charles once. You're like, oh, it's her uncle.
Yeah.
None of this is really explained.
No.
Like we say until the end. Anyway, so they're going on.
They're always like, they don't understand. It's dangerous for you to be here, or they don't understand why. And it's never really. It's like there's some big shame we're going to find out about.
Yeah. Also, why is it dangerous for her to be there?
It isn't. Like at all.
No.
Like there's no real reason for it. I mean, when it comes, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's hinted at that there's some like, what's her big shame? What's she done?
Yeah,
Why
she's had like some massive trauma.
Yeah,
and she shouldn't. It's like, what are you doing out of the hospital?
Yeah,
It's that kind of, like, oh my god, what are you doing here? Yeah. She shouldn't be here. I know what's best for her.
She murdered 11 people. It's like, what did she do?
She accused a teacher of fondling her.
Yeah.
I don't want that woman on my boat. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, meanwhile, the captain of the boat, Captain Dad, as I refer to him, Captain Dad has decided to hand over command of the ship to his son, Sean.
Which feels unwise.
Can you do this?
I don't think so.
I don't think you can do this. No.
Not at all. Not,
I'm pretty sure maritime law dictates you can't just go, you're the captain now.
Yeah, you're now in charge of all of these people on this boat.
Yeah. Sean is also one of the students.
Yeah.
Just happens that his dad is the captain of
Also,
this.
Sean doesn't even have a hat. Like, there's no way you can captain a boat.
Yeah, because he gifts him a present.
Yeah.
And before he opens it, I was like, I bet it's a hat. I bet it's a captain's hat.
Because I wrote down, doesn't even have a hat, and then he gave him the box, and I was like, oh, there's the hat. I was about to scribble it out. He was like, no, it's a sextant. A sextant and a real...
A digital one.
Digital navigation computer thing.
Anyway, Sean doesn't know what he's doing.
No, not at all.
He's captain for 5 minutes before
And almost
command
kills
is
everybody on
relinquished.
board.
Yes, before Captain Dad takes over again. Like, no, you got it all wrong. That was a bad idea. It's my
Not just
fault.
one thing as well. He's like, aren't you forgetting something, mister? Because he's like, oh, we're going to turn the boat 180 degrees or something. And he goes, aren't you forgetting something? You've forgotten this and this and this and this and all of this.
And he's
Fuck's
really
sake.
angry at his son Sean. It's like, I'm not a cat. I've just graduated school.
It's
I'm not
the
a
first
captain.
time I've been on the boat.
Also, Jason is on the side of the ship, climbing up.
He's climbed up the
There's a
anchor.
little shot, so we know now that Jason is on board as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is nice, because Jason deserves a holiday, I think.
He's constantly on holiday. He lives at a summer camp.
But he's been busy. He works there, basically.
Then we have the random guy.
the deckhand.
The random crazy guy.
Deckhand Doomsayer.
This
proclaims,
voyager's doomed!
doomed, I tell you!
You're doomed! Just shouts at them. They're like,
Yeah.
what?
And everyone ignores him at first. He's like, this voyage is doomed. It's like, it's just a fucking ferry. Calm down.
It's not the fucking Mary Celeste. We're not going looking for the white whale. It's just
Fucking like it's the Titanic. We're all doomed. Also, the boat is called Lazarus, which, I mean, Lazarus is like the guy that Jesus brought back to life for, like, after dying and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, that's surely a terrible name for a
so
boat.
might as well name a plane Icarus.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
Anyway, so they set sail.
Yeah.
Rennie and Sean have a meet up on the deck.
Well, everyone's copping off of each other. Like, all of these students are pairing off and sticking their tongues in each other's throats and stuff like that. And Sean's like, I've got no one to tongue. And then he's like, oh, hello, Rennie.
Hello, Rennie. It's like, oh, by the way, I've bought you a present because you're single, right? Here is, and he gives it's a Statue of Liberty necklace.
Oh, it's tacky.
It's
as fuck.
tacky. I've actually put down tacky as shit.
Yeah, it's
like-
chavvy.
yeah. Chaffy.
May as well be a big gold clown. But yeah, it's this really shit Statue of Liberty fucking necklace. And she's like, oh, it's beautiful. It's
not.
Just telling the truth.
It's hideous. It's grotesque.
Awful. I'm not wearing that. Fuck off.
It's proper tat that like you tourists have sold, isn't it?
Yeah. And he claims he's never been to, like, he's talking about how they're going to climb the Statue of Liberty and it's so many stories up, like he's never been there before. Like, he's all like, where'd you get that from then?
Yeah.
I mean, that's from the gift shop.
Yeah, who is selling Statue of Liberty necklaces in New Jersey?
Yeah.
No one.
No one. Not at all.
And there's some more like chat. Uncle Charles is concerned about Rennie, yada, 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 yada. Also, by the way, on the ship, there is a music video being shot on board.
Yes.
On
On a state-of-the-art giant fucking camcorder.
Yes. This is JJ.
Yeah.
She's on guitar and she wants... So there's this guy, Wayne, filming her as she rocks out to this backing track, basically.
Yeah.
With an electric guitar that's not plugged into anything. And she decides she wants to shoot down in the engine room because you'd get some really great echo down there.
Yeah.
It's a music video. It's not live.
Yeah.
It's not... You're miming. You've even got the boombox with you. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But she wants to go down there and stuff, but Wayne is busy. He's got to go and do something else because he's trying to get with the prom queen.
Tamara.
Yeah. So
Or they pronounce it weird in this film.
Is it? I don't know.
The blonde.
Yeah.
It's Tamara, but in this film they call it Tamara.
Tamara, that's it.
It's not. It's Tamara. All right. I'm not having that. It's fucking pronounced Tamara.
But yeah, so she's like, oh, we're gonna go down. So she goes down to the engine room anyway without the video camera.
Yeah, in the next shot, JJ now with different hair makes her way down to the engine room.
Yeah.
And Jason watches her go down. It's like, so why is she like the camera guy isn't there? Why is she going?
Why is she going down there anyway?
Exactly. And then there's some more Uncle Charles action. He's like, he wants to put Rennie back on land. And he says things like, no, she says, I don't know what I'm afraid of anymore. And he talks about facing your fear. And you're like, what are you on about?
Yeah. And she nearly tells us, well, he nearly tells us. He goes, oh, and he's just about to say it. And she starts talking over him about how she doesn't know what she's scared of anymore. It's like, oh, saving it for later for the big reveal.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Meanwhile, it turns out this ferry has an engine room the size of Titanic's engine room.
Fuck me, it's massive.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Come on, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's like
it's bigger than the entire ship.
Yeah.
It's like an iceberg. Underneath the ship, it's fucking huge.
Yeah, it's this huge thing. It's like in Commando where he goes under the house and there's that massive warehouse for some reason. But yeah, it is weird. Like there's no way that ship can house that.
No. And JJ is down there playing a guitar and rocking out like she's, performing in the music video, but no one's filming her.
And there's nobody else
just,
around. Yeah,
there's
just
no
on her
one
own.
else there except for Jason.
Yeah.
Also, where's the rest of this band?
Fuck knows. It's just
Because on the track you can hear obviously like all the instruments and there's a guy singing.
Yeah.
But she's just playing on her own.
yeah. Well, she's got it all on tape, hasn't it? Because we know how good tapes were. And so like it's almost a live experience.
Yeah. Jason is down there and he kills her with her own guitar.
Yeah, he starts walking down behind her. Like he's clearly not a fan of her guitar playing.
No.
And she sort of runs
Guitar
off.
miming.
Guitar miming, yeah. She runs off, and Jason's behind her, and then all of a sudden he's in front of her, and then he smashes her.
It's
'cause she runs
Jason.
down some,
Yeah.
and like he smashes her in the head with her guitar. But yeah, Jason in this film has somehow gained the ability to teleport.
Yes, he really does.
Yeah.
Like he's one place and he's
I know it's like in all of the films he always happens to be, but this. It's jarring the fact that he's just suddenly in front of everyone. There's at least 2 or 3 points later on where it makes no fucking sense.
No.
At all. The doomsayer. We're all doomed. He's the only one to hear her scream through that big fucking.
yes, and doesn't do anything.
Boat. No, he
doesn't
just,
alert. It's like,
just pulls a face. He's like, "Oh, how unusual!"
like
Walks
we're
off.
all doomed. Like
Yeah.
maybe if you warned people about this, we would. If you told everyone about the boat you saw floating in with blood all over it, they wouldn't all be doomed. He's not Scottish, by the way. It's just fun to say doomed.
He should have been. Should have been Scottish.
It literally should have been that bloke from Dad's Army.
Yeah.
You're all doomed. Anyway. Yeah, it's now night time, and Jason is watching Rennie get changed through a porthole. The
Yeah.
dog is also watching her get changed.
Yeah.
And Rennie has visions of young little Jason
Baby
drowning.
Jason.
Yeah, baby
Yeah.
Jason drowning. As does the dog, apparently.
Yeah.
Because the dog gets freaked out and runs away.
Yeah.
Like, so is this... She can see it, but the dog can see it as well.
Well, apparently so.
Dog's also got problems.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder... Yeah.
There's a separate story a separate backstory we never
Subplot
see,
that never... Yeah.
where the dog was swimming and Jason's like, "Rrrr," and the dog got away.
This dog has a past. What's this dog doing here? It's not safe for you, little dog.
He used to be Crystal Lake's mascot. He survived the original massacre. But yeah, this is the start of these weird visions where she keeps seeing baby Jason
Drowning.
floating about and drowning
Yeah.
and calling for his mum,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Somewhere else on the ship, a boxing match is going down between Julius and a nameless student.
Yep.
Doesn't matter because he'll be dead soon.
Yeah.
But yes, and the nameless guy loses because he sees females.
Yes.
Yes, this is Tamara
They're
and
looking
Eva.
through the was it the
It has a
skylight.
glass. It has this has a skylight. This particular part of the boat.
Well, this room that they're boxing in isn't. It's not like a gym or anything. It's not set up for a boxing match.
No.
They're literally in a corridor in the boat.
It's just there's not a ring or anything.
No.
I think it's supposed to be the gym. This little boat has a gym.
Definitely isn't a bit. It's got a games room and a disco.
But yeah, they're not in a ring. They're just on the floor, like just stood there. Oh yeah, and Tamara and Eva are looking through the skylight. The guy gets distracted because Tamara's just so hot.
Yeah.
And he loses.
queen.
Yep. And now we meet Tamara and Eva,
Right.
and from earlier, and they're doing coke.
Well, they're clear. Tamara definitely is in heat because she's like all over, like all about Julius at first.
Yeah, she wants to
And
bang
then
him.
some random boat worker, like hot boat worker, walks past. And she's
See
like,
him once. He's
Yeah.
never seen again.
well, he is later
he?
on, yeah. But yeah, anyway, he walks past, and then she goes to Eva, act sensual, and they just flick their hair.
Yeah, they flick their hair. Ooh,
And
ooh.
this guy just like smiles at him and waves his screwdriver about a bit and walks off. But yeah, then they go off and she's like, "Oh, let's go and do some recreational activity," and taps her bag and like drugs.
Drugs, class A's,
Yeah.
fucking doing lines of
It's
coke.
the 80s.
Yes, they get rumbled by Rennie, but Rennie doesn't really care because she's just
No.
looking for the dog.
Mm.
She doesn't actually give a shit that they're snorting lines. So I'm looking for my dog. Have you seen him? He's the one with 1,000-yard stare.
He's seen things.
Yeah. And Jason, you get a shot of Jason. He's still just walking around the ship. No one spotted this guy.
Yeah, no, he's been hanging out in the games room. But he comes out in the games room and he's like fucking all like excited because he's got the high score in Pac-Man. Like he's just beat the 3 other kids at pool. Like,
And then Uncle Charles, he almost catches Tamara and Eva snorting the coke.
yeah, they smashed their little mirror thing.
Yes, and Tamara assumes that Rennie ratted them out.
But yeah,
What a
and also,
bitch.
Uncle Charlie demands that these girls go and do some homework on their school trip.
Yeah,
Where's your biology homework?
they've just graduated.
Yeah.
What?
What is that all about?
I don't know.
Yeah, I demand you go and do some specifically biology homework.
So you know I've graduated now. Like you don't. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do anything you tell me to.
You're literally not in charge of us anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that's it. This is where
We get the guy in the sauna.
yeah. Well, just before Tamara gives away that Rennie's scared of water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she says she
I've
can't
heard
swim.
a rumor. Yeah, she can't swim or she's
Yeah.
scared of water or something.
A little bit more backstory that we don't care about.
Yeah.
Just sneak it in there.
Just put in there.
The
The sauna on this fucking ferry.
this ferry has its own sauna as
Yeah.
well. And there's a guy having a sauna. And Jason shows up, basically, and he puts one of those hot stones through him.
Yeah, well, Jason wanders into the sauna fully clothed, and I'm like, you're going to regret that in a minute. It's warm in there, Jason. So I'm expecting Jason to be like, whoo, and take his top off.
Take his mask off.
Yeah, just sit down.
Gets down in a
It's too
towel
warm.
next to him.
Yeah, just puts a towel on. It's too warm to kill anybody in here. But no, he picks up one of those fucking red hot rocks and just jams it into his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the guy that Julius just beat.
This
And we still don't see his face because he puts a towel over it.
Yeah, in the boxing match, he's got the thing on, hasn't
Yeah.
he? And then he's got a towel, so you never see his face.
No.
Don't know his name, doesn't matter, he's dead.
I mean, this bloke probably is well the one film this bloke was ever in. He's like, that's me. And they're like, is it? There's no telling.
Back on deck, Tamara pushes Rennie overboard.
Yeah,
What
I
the
know.
fuck?
She could kill her.
Unsubtly.
Yeah, like
Whoops.
Oh, there you go, in the drink. And yeah, I mean that she could die.
Yeah. It's it's really cold in the
Yeah.
Atlantic.
Yeah.
Even in summer, if you fall in the ocean, you're in trouble if you don't get out pretty fucking quickly. Tamara pushes Rennie overboard, and then Rennie is pulled underwater by baby Jason.
Yeah,
But then she isn't.
yeah. It's another vision, but physical, a physical manifestation of her vision.
Yeah.
Like he grabs onto her and pulls her under, and then she comes back up.
And then she's saved. Luckily, because this boat isn't moving.
Yeah, at all.
It's actually not going anywhere.
Also, she goes in the water quite easily because there are no protective railings on the side of this ship because it's not designed for people to travel on it for fun. But yeah, and then the teacher throws the life preserver thing into her.
Yeah.
This is odd as well when they get her out.
It's where Uncle Charles blames everyone but Tamara.
Yeah.
He's really angry.
Yeah, literally, it's everybody else's fault. But they get Tamara out, and teacher's like stroking her hair, and she goes, "Can we talk about it? Talk about what? She just fell in the water. You were there. Like, what do you want to talk about? Like, that's why she's distressed. Yeah, what's wrong with you? You just watched.
Just pulled me out of the fucking ocean.
Yeah, she's got some weird memory problems at all. Well, why are you being you're just overreacting about something? What's wrong with you? Why are you all wet? It's such a weird question, like a weird thing to say. Can we talk
Want
about
to talk
it?
about it? What? It's like, what the fuck are you on about?
And this is where we finally find about Rennie finally admits her shame.
She can't swim.
She can't swim. That's what they've been building up to.
And then the Doomsayer shows up again. He's like, you're all gonna die!
Yeah. He turns up and he goes, he's come back and you're all gonna die. It's like, who employed this guy? Especially if this is a cruise ship. Like, I mean, no, he's got to be called into the office every day. It's like, you've got to stop telling all the fucking customers that they're gonna die. They're here to have a good time. It's a cruise. Stop yelling, you're all going to die.
And then Eva ditches Tamara because she's a bitch.
Yeah. She nearly killed someone.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think I want to hang out with you anymore, actually.
yeah.
Rennie has more visions of a young Jason.
Yeah, this
Why?
time he comes out of the mirror and grabs hold of her.
I mean, we know she can't swim. That's her secret shame. But
Yeah.
the visions still aren't explained. as to how she's linked to this guy at all.
No, not even slightly. You're like, because at one point as well, the Doomsayer bloke goes, "You're the last ones." I was like, what? Like, he was like, is there some big connection with Camp Crystal Lake and something that's going to be revealed? No, it isn't.
No. And then Uncle Charles goes to see Tamara, who plans to bang Uncle Charles.
Yeah.
This scene's odd.
It's horrendous.
What was he actually after? Is like her
Biology homework.
Well, no, she wants to show him her biology project.
Yeah.
Remember, they've already graduated,
Yeah.
and she
So I don't know what this goes towards.
no extra credit. She derobes
Yeah.
to reveal that she has drawn organs on her body,
Yeah.
scantily clad body, and this is her biology project.
Yeah.
Also, the heart is in the wrong place, so you failed.
Immediately.
Yeah, that's not what that is.
Yeah.
But all of this, and then she kind of jumps him, doesn't she?
Yeah, she jumps on it and they start like snogging on the bed. I mean, how old are these kids supposed to be? 'Cause, I mean, Uncle Charlie's going to prison.
Yeah.
There's no way around this.
No, especially as Wayne is filming the whole thing
Yeah.
through the window. Yeah,
That's
the
it.
idea is they're gonna blackmail him.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know what that's going to achieve.
For a better grade,
Yeah.
you've already graduated.
Again, yeah. None of this has been thought through.
No, doesn't
at
make
all.
any
This is,
sense.
yeah, this is the worst blackmail ever. But yeah, Uncle Charlie suddenly remembers that prison probably is going to suck. So he's like, no, get off. Blah, blah.
What are you doing, woman? Blah, blah, blah. I'm your teacher. Blah, blah, blah. And then, he sees that Wayne comes in with the camera. He's like, you little shits.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, but, it's never mentioned again. Doesn't matter. He leaves.
Yeah.
And then Wayne shoots his shot.
Oh, yeah.
This is where he decides to tell Tamara that he's got the hots for her.
Yeah.
And she asks him to leave.
She's like, she pies him off
Yeah.
badly.
He's
He's like, so I've always liked you. And she's like, anyway, time for you to go.
Yeah.
Literally pushes him out the door. I've got shit to do, coke to snort, teachers to bang.
Other people to fuck besides you.
Yeah, literally. I would rather fuck
That old
Charlie,
man.
the headmaster, than you.
Meanwhile, then a storms are coming.
Yeah.
There's a storm a brewing on the high seas. Arr!
Yeah.
And didn't plan it. They knew the storm. They did actually mention at the beginning that a storm was
Yeah,
coming.
but still set off anyway.
Yes, for this luxury cruise.
With a boat full of kids.
Yeah, and this tiny little boat.
Yeah. It's a tiny little massive cruise ship.
Yeah. So there's a storm happening. While this storm happens, though, like the ship doesn't move.
No.
The interior is like there's no like whoa.
No.
It's just perfectly still inside. Jason kills Tamara with a bit of a mirror
Yeah. Well,
off screen.
he tries to sneak into the room and she hears him.
Hmm.
Like, which isn't surprising. Jason is a lumbering mess.
But
like,
most people don't hear him. He
yeah, I
can
know,
sneak
not all
around
the
like a
time.
ninja.
Just, when he
But this-
teleports,
yeah.
he decides not to teleport at this point. He just walks into the room, and then he smashes through the door and punches her dress off. Literally, fucking his arm comes through, and she's naked, and she smashes the mirror, and then he comes in and he grabs a big fucking bit of the mirror and stabs her with it.
Yeah, but kind of off camera, you don't really see it.
No, yeah, a lot of this
Weak.
film.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird kills that are just not done very well, that are done off screen or in silhouette for some reason.
Meanwhile, Captain Dad is back to being captain.
Yeah.
He's captaining, and he asked Jim, his first mate. He asked him about his son, and
Yeah.
Jim's like, "Oh, he's little Jim. He's 19 months old now. Oh, that's great, Jim. Jim's gonna die. Jim is gonna die, and he does in the next scene.
Literally, seconds.
Seconds later, he's dead.
I wrote, they talk about Jim's kid who is 19 months, so we know Jim's going to die. Jim dies. He gets harpooned by Jason.
Yeah, moments later, and it's just any horror film, especially from this time, anyone that mentions they've got kids,
Yeah.
or gets out pictures of their kids from their wallet,
Yeah,
they're gonna die.
absolutely.
Yeah,
It's just don't talk about your kids. Like,
basically.
at all, if you're in a horror
Got any
film.
kids? Nope.
Nope.
Is that your son, Sean?
Nope.
You tried to make him captain earlier. Not mine. Nope.
No idea. Don't know what you're talking about.
Nope. Never seen him before in my life.
Never even had sex. Jason, never.
So yeah, first mate Jim is stabbed with a harpoon, and then Captain Dad has his throat slit.
with a machete that Jason's found somewhere.
Somewhere. I hasn't used it before.
Yeah, and he doesn't use it again.
No.
And that's his trademark weapon.
Yep.
Is a machete, but no, he barely touches the captain's throat.
It's a poor throat
yeah,
slit.
and
Like,
cuts it open.
like
somehow.
no blood comes out for fucking ages.
Yeah.
And then like a little bit does, but, and he's gone off screen. He's dead.
And it barely touches him.
Yeah.
But then after that, Sean and Rennie are talking about how Sean can't live up to his dad's expectations.
Yes.
Which is a timely conversation.
Yes.
Considering his dad's dead.
And Rennie, does she want to go home at this point or
Yeah,
something?
she wants to go. Yeah. She wants to be put back on land or something.
And this is where Sean and Rennie discover Captain Dad is dead.
Right. And he's propped up. Somehow, he stood up at the wheel with his hands on the wheel.
Yeah.
There's nothing keeping him there.
No, also he didn't die there.
No, yeah, Jason's propped him up there apparently, but he's just stood there. This is a dead man stood rigidly at the... he's not tied to anything.
Rigor mortis. He's
Yeah,
clenched. He's kicked in that quickly.
And then the ship moves a bit and he falls over. How long's he been there?
And then Sean gets on the PA and he calls everyone to the bridge of the ship so they can all take a look at Captain Dad's dead body.
Yeah,
and they come in like, oh, one by one, like, what?
I feel like he should be a bit more upset as well. Like, I mean, he's like clearly like trying to, but he's like, everyone, come and have a look at my dad.
He's dead.
My
Captain
dead
Dad's
dad.
dead. Yeah, it's odd. He tries to radio for help. Now he knows how to use the radio.
Now he can sail the boat.
Yeah, he tries to radio for help, but Jason pulls some wires out of a pole and their radio's dead.
Yeah.
So they've got no radio. Uncle Charles shows up, as does the doomsayer guy.
Doomsayer
just to
deckhand.
remind them one more time, you're gonna die!
This is where he goes, you're the last ones!
Yeah.
You're all gonna die!
And then he runs off.
Yeah, and then he just disappears again. And Uncle Charlie decides that he's the one that's killing people.
Yeah, Charlie hates Sean, doesn't he?
Yeah, he hates Sean as well.
Yeah.
But
He
he decides that Doomsayer Deckhand is the one that's killing everyone.
yes. I mean, you would.
Well, yeah, because he's like running around.
You're
going,
all
"No,
doomed!
Yeah, so it's either going to be him or a bloke that apparently has come back to life several times and been murdered, and it has somehow aged because he died when he was a child. Anyway, let's not get into that.
And then, so it's all kicking off. There's boats in the middle of a storm. They've discovered these dead bodies. Someone's killing people. So Sean instructs Rennie to go and drop the anchors.
Of all people.
But why?
Yeah.
Why would you drop anchor?
Why stop the boat?
Yeah.
For a
You need to
start.
get to land. You've got no fucking radio. Let's just stay here, totally isolated.
Also, if anyone's going to drop the anchor, shouldn't it be Sean? I mean, he's the one who would know. Like, it's like, go and drop the anchor, Rennie, who's never been on this boat before, has never been...
Doesn't
trained.
even like water.
At this point, she's never even been in the engine room.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yeah, no worries, I'll go
Yeah.
and drop the... She's been wandering around for hours. Like, does this button do it? No.
Uncle Charles, he shows up to stop her, which he's right to do so, because it's a stupid idea.
Absolutely, yeah. This is the one time I'm in full agreement with Uncle Charles.
Yeah. He's like, what are you doing? We're like, we're in the middle of a storm. Why are you dropping anchors?
It makes no sense. It's like, listen to Uncle Charlie. Like, he's got sense.
Eva, from earlier, she discovers Tamara's body.
Yeah.
And she gets all freaked out. And then she runs into Jason. And then she runs off into the disco. And she gets
Yeah.
confused by the disco. She gets really confused by lights and music.
Yep.
And starts spinning around like, oh my God, what's happening?
Yeah.
Ah,
It's just spinning around constantly. Like,
this is so confusing. Music. Ah. It's like, what are you from like 1,000? You come from like 1,000 years ago in a time machine? You never seen a strobe light before? Oh my God, what is that funky bass line?
yeah. She could have left at any point and probably got away, but no, she just stands in there and waits for Jason to arrive.
And he does, and he chokes her. And,
Well, yeah, but this is another Jason showcasing his teleportation powers, because everywhere she looks, he's there.
Yeah.
Like, he's like in front of her, like, and she turns around and he's there again, and he's there again. Because I can't imagine he's like,
She is spinning around.
Yeah,
a lot,
exactly.
So maybe she's
But
confused.
everywhere she looks, because she keeps looking for doors, and he's always in front. And then he just disappears entirely.
And then
she's like, oh, and she goes to move, and then he grabs her by the neck and chokes her to death.
Yes, and just as he slams her body down, she's dead. The musical stops.
Yeah,
And the disco is over.
Because there's just a DJ in the corner, like, oh, off. Seems
Runs away.
inappropriate now. Like, just agadoo. No.
Another one bites the dust. Scream if you want to go faster. Meanwhile, the boys a group of the
This is
boys.
one of my favourite lines in the whole film. This is.
Yes. There's Wayne and Julius and a bunch of other people we don't have names for.
Yeah.
They're getting a bunch of weapons together.
Oh, they've got guns and stuff. Where'd you get them from? Like the games room?
Yeah.
Somehow like guns in the
Yeah,
games
there's
room.
like an axe and there's
Yeah.
some other bits. And then you've got Julius, who's the boxer, and he's hard as nails, remember?
Yeah, his hands are deadly weapons.
Yeah, and they're like, what weapon are you going to take? And he says, nothing.
Except this gun.
Yeah. The pause is ages. Where it's like, except this. And it's a massive shotgun.
That's not nothing, Julius. That's a gun.
It's just the way he says it, you think like, oh, he's so fucking hard.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need a weapon. I don't need a weapon, but I'm just going to take this shotgun just in case.
Yeah. Nothing but this flamethrower. And these swords. And this bazooka.
Can I have a box of grenades as well?
Yeah.
You got any bulletproof vests? So they've armed themselves to go find the killer. They don't actually know it's Jason yet. And you've got Wayne.
Wayne is just not making life easy for himself. He won't put that fucking camera down.
No, Wayne is walking around the engine room looking for JJ.
Yeah.
And he's got a shotgun, but he's also got the massive camera and he's
Yep.
still filming. And then he loses his glasses to some steam,
Some
which
random steam that
shoots out of a
which
pipe.
was a hazard in the 80s. Like, it's in a lot of films. Just if you ever walk near to
Ooh, a kettle!
yeah, if you ever walk near to any kind of pipes or anything, you were always in danger of being blinded by
steam,
hot steam
yeah.
coming out of it. But yeah, all it does is knock his glasses off and he can't see.
He cannot see at all. He can't. His vision is so bad that he shoots a fellow student.
It's not a fellow student.
Who is
it's
it?
the
Oh, the deck-
random hot guy.
Oh, is it
From
him?
earlier. It's him. Because
Oh.
he shoots him. Well, the guy does approach him without saying anything at all. And the kid's got a gun. I mean, you would be like, it's me. But he just silently wanders up. So Wayne shoots him. And then his vision's so bad, he has to look through the camera. And it's random hot guy from that Tamara was
But
gonna
you would
bang.
assume there would be someone in the engine room. I mean, someone to actually work there.
Well,
haven't
yeah,
they?
you'd think that.
Yeah, it's not just an empty room. People work on these things.
But, I mean, it's difficult to tell because that engine room is so big. You can be in there for days and not see another person.
This has like an echo in it. Hello, hello.
But that's when Jason turns up.
Yes, Jason shows up and he picks up Wayne and he throws him onto a control board, which sets him on fire, and it kind of blows up and electricity goes everywhere.
Wait, first of all, he runs off and he finally trips over what's her name's body, JJ's body,
Yes.
who has been lying there undisturbed in this massive engine room for
It's
ages.
because the one guy that works there hasn't found her yet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so big.
And then Jason throws him into the control panel, and his penis bursts into flames.
It does.
It's just that area. Oh my god! His penis.
Sparks start flying
and his penis fire rages out of control and sets fire to other things.
Yeah, this doesn't affect the engines though.
No,
At
not
all.
at all.
The
Not
ship
even
is
slightly.
fine.
Yeah.
And then Jason sets the fire alarm off. The fire doesn't.
No,
Jason sets the
'cause
fire
Jason's
alarm off.
worried for these kids. He's like, the last thing he wants is for all these kids to die in a fire. So he sets the fire alarm off so they're all aware.
We should say like, God, the safety around is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, there's clearly a fire and this alarm has not gone off. Bang! Come on! Got to do everything myself.
He's the fire safety officer on board. He takes his job completely seriously.
So then Jason goes to kill another student, but this student has the oh so smart idea of climbing up a mast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because there's nowhere off that mast. You've got to be like, climb up this mast, because Jason definitely can't climb a ladder.
No.
Doesn't have to. He can teleport.
Yes, he does. He does teleport.
He does teleport. So
Up
he's
to-
like right behind him and then just launches him off.
Yes, and he gets impaled on the radio antenna
the
thing.
radio antenna.
Yes. And then Julius shows up, and he is then... Jason throws Julius overboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite dismissively as well. He's like...
And then Rennie has another young baby Jason vision, and
It's because she's been locked safely in her room.
Yes.
By Uncle Charlie.
Yes.
So where's Rennie? She's locked safely in her room.
and Jason smashes through the porthole and starts choking her because he's
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah, because she sees baby Jason first of all. Oh, baby Jason's in the room, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's it. And Jason, she goes back, and Jason smashes through the thing, and he grabs her, and she reaches down, and she grabs the Stephen King pen,
Yes.
and she goes like that. And there's no way that at that angle with her arm and everything, she can do this, but she jams it into his left eye, the furthest eye away. Somehow. I mean, if you watch the shot, she reaches back. She can't even make any eye at all, but she managed to get the eye furthest away and jams the pen into it.
So he runs off. Then Uncle Charles, he's slinking around the kitchen with a flare gun.
Yeah,
and
he's going to shoot Doomsayer deckhand.
Well, he shows up and he steals a knife from the kitchen, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The deckhand.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And then he pushes Uncle Charlie over and just shows him the knife. And
Yes.
then just runs off.
And then, just to make matters worse, the ship is now sinking.
Yep.
For some reason.
Yeah. The fire has burnt through the hull.
I don't know. It's just, why is it now sinking?
It's some of this boat wooden. I don't. But yeah, it started to fill with water. It's gone all very Titanic.
Yes,
and
and
this
it's
water
like-
is bright green.
Yeah, and it's like flooding down the corridors. Like it's proper sinking. Like, oh, okay. Wonder what happened there.
Also, at this point, the teacher woman, she's found some other kids that weren't in the film previously, but she's found them somewhere, and she puts them into the disco restaurant thing.
Yeah.
She puts them in there, and she's like, "Stay here," and then she locks them in, and she leaves.
And they all drown.
Well, basically, like later on, she goes, "Look, they're going. They decide that they're going to get off the boat," and she goes, "Oh, I left some kids in the restaurant." And Sean goes, "There is no restaurant anymore. She killed them kids.
Yeah.
she left them to die.
She locked. You can't lock people in anything on a ship.
On a sinking ship.
Yeah.
She's going to lock you in this room for your own safety. There's a lot of your own safety lockings in this film that don't make any real sense.
Also, so how did Rennie get out of her room? She was locked in though, because she can't fit through that porthole.
Oh, Sean kicked the door in.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, the ship's it's all going to shit. Uncle Charles is blaming Sean for everything.
Absolutely, yeah, completely. He's blaming him for the boat sinking. And he goes, "This is." He's blaming him for everything, and Sean yells back at him, and it's really weak. He goes, "It's time you listen to me if you want off this boat." I'd be like
Jack Whitehall trying to assert authority.
"I'm in charge.
You want to bloody well listen to me? You are.
Don't make me." You'd be like, "Nah."
But at this point, everyone is dead apart from Rennie, Sean, Uncle Charles, and Rennie's mum/teacher.
Yeah. He was just murdered about 5 or 6 other kids.
Yes. And a deckhand, but then he shows up dead.
Yeah, well, he stumbles in and he's got a fucking axe in his back.
An axe in his back.
He milks this death scene as well. He's like,
So, they escape on a lifeboat.
Was it just as if things couldn't get any worse as well? The ship is hit by lightning for some
Randomly,
reason.
Yeah. They escape on a lifeboat, and the dog is there. By the way, the dog's also alive.
Yeah, at some point they've gone and got the dog.
Yeah, they forgot about him, but yeah, he's fine. And as they get on a lifeboat, Julius pops up out of the water.
Well, it's like Jason at the end of the first Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
He goes out the water. Also, it would be impossible to launch yourself out of the water like that unless you could reach the bottom.
Yeah, he proper flies out with some gusto.
Yeah.
And then he's in the boat and he's unconscious.
There's no way you can, unless you're Aquaman, that you can just like, poof, like a salmon out of the water.
So they've left in the lifeboat. The ship has sunk. The next day, we assume, because it's sort of daylight now,
Yeah.
Uncle Charles is giving Sean more shit.
Yeah,
Just-
Charlie's a prick.
Yeah, so Sean and Julius are doing all the rowing, and Charles is just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
when are we going to get to land then,
Yeah.
Captain?"
You're rowing wrong.
Yeah, as Uncle Charles is sat there doing fuck all, just throwing insults. Go, I bet you're back into it.
This is why your dad's dead.
He never loved you, you know. Yeah. More of a captain you'll ever be.
Oh, I miss Captain Dad.
He would have got us out of here safely.
I wish you died and Captain Dad was here.
The wrong captain died. Oh dear.
So I was like, don't talk to me like that. I'll bop you one.
That night, they're all fucking day and night again. They've been rowing.
Yeah.
They suddenly notice that the Statue of Liberty is about half a mile away.
I know, until they're right next to it. They haven't seen it at all. They've just all of a sudden they're like, oh, there's a Statue of Liberty.
We're saved.
Yeah. Dunk, mate. Oh, there's the whole of New York.
Yeah. You didn't see those lights coming up on the horizon? It's like notoriously bright city. Oh, it snuck up on us, that.
Oh, this is one of my favourite Uncle Charlie moments because they pull up into a dock and they climb ashore, and Uncle Charlie goes, "Wonderful choice of places to dock a boat, Mr. Robertson. They're in a dock."
Yeah.
It's a
Well, yeah,
dockyard.
he's annoyed. Yeah, there's nobody around, isn't he? And he's like, oh, well, good one.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great place to dock a boat. It's like, well, yeah.
Where did you want to pull up?
Yeah.
Fucking Central Park.
It is a bit strange that this is New York and there's no one around.
Yeah, I know.
They found the one unpopulated, desolate place in all of Manhattan.
Yeah, but but it is populated by two. I don't know. Oh, Jason has been swimming along next to them this whole time.
Yeah, so
turns out.
they get to the dock and they walk off to look for a phone. And this is when Jason climbs out of the water onto the dock where they've arrived as well.
Yeah.
And at this point being an hour and 4 minutes into the film Jason Takes Manhattan,
Yeah.
which is an hour and 40 minutes long, Jason finally arrives in Manhattan.
Yep.
Way!
Yeah, takes Manhattan is a generous.
Yeah, it's a badly titled film,
Yeah.
isn't it? Makes his way slowly to Manhattan.
Yeah.
Would have been more appropriate.
Spends 20 minutes in Manhattan. But yeah, he gets out and he's all out of breath. He's breathing like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Through most of this film for some reason.
It's where he spots the giant hockey mast billboard thing.
He's like, oh, it's me.
Yeah, he looks really confused. But it's like when Arnold Schwarzenegger sees his own billboard in Last Action Hero. Like, what?
But yeah, then they're mugged by two pirates, I think.
Yes, the survivors are instantly mugged upon arriving in New York. And one of them steals Rennie's shitty Statue of Liberty necklace.
He's like, rips it off her, but he does lob it away almost instantly because Sean picks it up. So he's like, I'll have that. No, I won't. But they decide they're going to take her.
They ask her out on a date.
Well.
And then they ask her out on a date, and then they take her on a date by force.
Well,
And then
swap date for rape.
Yeah. And but after they take her away for a date.
Yeah.
So it's just the three of them. And then Uncle Charles suggests that they all split up.
Yeah.
Why?
So Julius is like, well, let's go get her. He's like, no, you heard what they said. They'll kill her. Let's spend ages trying to find some police. And then we can save her after they've raped her or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
So they'd
split. Let's split up and do that as well. It's unusual.
This is New York. How hard is it to find a phone or a police officer or anyone?
Impossible. Yeah. Yeah, well, like you said, one of the most densely populated cities in the world. There's just literally all there is the two mugging pirates, and that's it. But
And the muggers take Rennie on her date.
and give her free heroin.
They take her on a lovely date down an alleyway and inject her with heroin.
Yeah.
Jason then shows up and he impales one of the muggers on the syringe.
Yeah, he manages to push it through his entire body. How long is that syringe?
And the other one, he smashes his head into a pipe.
Yeah.
And Rennie runs off, assumably quite high.
Yeah, you would have thought so. Also, she does not thank Jason for saving her
No.
at all, which is ungrateful.
No.
And he's quite rightly upset, I feel. You can see it in
Meanwhile,
his mask.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Julius finds a phone. And he makes... Oh, this is hilarious. Julius, all right, they're being stalked by a killer.
Yeah.
He finds a phone. A payphone. He has money on him. That's fine.
Yeah.
Puts the money in. Who'd you call? In America?
911.
No. He phones the operator. And he says, Operator, this is an emergency. Get me the police.
He thinks he lives in the 30s.
What?
It's just like, that's winding it up. Operator, get me the police right now.
Like, what? Did you forget the number? He's like, Operator, get me the number for 911. Why have you... Fuck's sake. Also, 911, it's a free number.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't have to
cost you
pay
anything at all. Also, this is probably like the rest of this area that they're in is clearly run down and everything else. So this has got to be the last working phone in this entire area. Then Jason just turns up and vandalizes it, smashes it through.
Yeah, he smashes the. Does he smash his Julius's head through the fucking phone box or something?
Yeah.
And then Julius runs off and he climbs onto the roof.
Yeah, he climbs up a ladder because he doesn't know about Jason's teleportation powers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, you just carry on going down the street, but never mind.
No. Now he's stuck on a roof of Jason.
Yes, and they have a boxing match.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Right.
You just need the Rocky theme playing over this, don't you? So, yeah, Julius decides to take him on mano o mano,
Yeah.
fisticuffs, Queensbury rules, and starts punching him. Jason just doesn't make a move.
Just takes every shot.
Yeah,
like,
and he's
and Julius is just like headshots, and then he works the body for a bit.
Yeah.
and then he's like more headshots and stuff. Now, this probably doesn't even go as long as one round of a real boxing match, but Julius is pooped. Absolutely knackered.
can
And
barely
he's supposed
stand.
to be a fucking great boxer, isn't
Yeah.
he? It wouldn't last one round.
Yeah.
Like,
he is like
and he hasn't been hit once.
No.
He's doing all the hitting.
he's,
Why- and
he's
like,
exerting himself so much that he's drained all of his energy in
Yeah.
30 seconds, and
starts
he
to
can barely
miss.
stand up.
Yeah, he's like sweating.
Yeah.
He's like, who has he been fighting? Like
I don't know.
Through college or whatever, or school. Whatever. Like they've given him
Children.
the first years. Yeah, like, undefeated. I am. You've punched 10-year-olds.
So he's so exhausted, he can barely stand, he can barely breathe, he can barely speak, and he's just like, come on then, give me your best shot. And Jason punches his fucking head off in one hit.
In one hit.
Yeah.
And then it spins around and it lands in a bin and,
the
the bin
lid shuts,
closes.
yeah. Meanwhile, Rennie is tripping balls.
Oh yeah. Apparently, all heroin does is make everything a bit blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And Sean finds her. So
Yeah.
they're together now. Uncle Charles has found a policeman, right? Now at this point they're all reunited and they've got this policeman. It turns out this New York cop just happens to be the world's most Canadian man.
I thought he was Irish.
No, he's Canadian.
Is he?
They filmed this in Canada and he's obviously an extra, and it's just like, well there, eh, buddy? You seem like nice folk and all, eh? But that's one heck of a tall tale you're telling me there, buddy. Anyway, let's go get some bear claws. It's just like, it's just as soon as he starts talking, you're like, well, he's obviously, because you know it's
arrest, eh?
yeah, it's obviously filmed in. Is it Vancouver that substitutes
I
for New
think so,
York in a
yeah.
lot of films? Obviously, it's filmed in Canada, and this guy, as soon as
I
he
thought he was trying to be Irish. I thought that's a terrible Irish accent.
like that guy from Batman,
Yeah.
the original Batman one. But yeah. It's not like, hey, you guys, what's going on there? It's not New York at all.
No.
He's so fucking Canadian. And
Also, he's like the worst cop. He nearly shoots the teacher, and then they all sort of bump into each other. He's like, right, everyone get my car. He's just left unlocked.
everyone get in the car, eh?
He's left it sitting there unlocked in this
Yeah.
really terrible part of New York, apparently. Because Jason's already been in there and placed Julius. Jason's a fucker. No, he just messes with everyone. He's like propped up Captain Dad like that.
Yeah.
So they can find him. Like, now he's got Julius's head and he's put it on the dashboard. He's
Yeah.
like, that will scare him.
Yeah.
And he's watching from the shadow. He's like...
Yeah, and they see Julius's head in the cop car, and he's like, Jesus! And Mr. Canada is killed by Jason.
Well, we think so. Because
sort of
he grabs-
off-screen thing,
he
isn't
grabs
it?
the copper and he drags him into the alleyway, and then seconds later, he's in front of the car.
Yep.
Like, he's teleported in front of the car. Then Rennie decides she's going to drive the police car and
runs
runs him
over
over
Jason, yes.
slowly.
Yes.
Like, he could, like, I mean, with Jason's teleportation powers, anyway, he could have got out of the way. But, I mean, he probably looked at him and went, that's not really going to hurt.
No.
Because they
but
kind
it knocks him out for ages.
Yeah, well, he's pretending, and because, like I said,
He's a fucker.
He's a bit of a jester.
He's a troll.
Yeah, he is. Such a card. Jason, you're such a card.
So, yeah, she's run over Jason, driving away in the cop car, but then she has another baby Jason vision,
Yeah.
and she crashes the car into a wall.
Into like, a really flammable crash barrier.
Yes, and they escape out of the car, but as they're escaping, they've completely forgotten about the teacher/mum.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
They're all
karma, I think, because obviously she left all those kids to die in that room. They're like, they just pretend they don't notice her. She's there trying to get out. The car's the door won't open because it's a cop car, and they
But
don't.
they're all
in fact.
like Sean and Uncle Charles are so fixated on Rennie, are you okay?
Yeah.
Getting her to safety, and then they're walking away, and they're like, oh, I forgot, bang, oh,
Yeah.
she's dead.
Don't even see her die.
No,
Like, she must have left by this point, like left production
Yeah.
or whatever, because you don't see her die. Like, you don't see anything at all. They're like, oh, hang on,
Also, how fast was that car? I mean, cars don't explode when they crash into things at all.
Well, when you watch the crash, the barrier is what bursts into flames first of all. Like how that happens is fucking beyond me. Physics. But yeah, then the car just explodes all of a sudden in the slowest car crash in the world.
Then we get a flashback.
Well, Rennie starts fixating on this pool of burning oil, I assume.
No, I thought it was just a puddle on the floor.
Well, it's got fire on it.
I thought that was just
Water
reflection.
doesn't burn.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was just the water was reflecting the fire going
Well,
on.
maybe. Like anything goes in this fucking film. But yeah, then a little boat appears in the middle of it. It's probably the best shot in the film. And then it kind of it segues into
A flashback. This is a flashback to baby Rennie.
Yes.
Baby Rennie and Uncle Charles are on a boat on Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Yes. And she's like, Uncle Charles, I can't swim. And he goes, well, there's only one way to learn, you little shit. And he throws her overboard.
Literally, he's like, whoop.
Yep. And obviously she starts fucking drowning.
Yep.
And then baby Jason pulls her under. And she's like, oh no, look at that.
Well, this is what this all stems from. Like, this is, her big... She saw Jason in the thing. But Jason's like, oh, friend! He's trying to grab her and stuff, and she's kicking at him. Like, that's why he wants to kill her now. It's like, we could have been pals. But you're rude. Rude, and you snubbed me.
So, yeah, she then kind of realizes, like, Uncle Charles, it was you. It was you that pushed me in the water, and I nearly drowned, and that baby weird deformed thing pulled me under, and that's why I'm having visions. And
it's a shitty thing to do, but they now try and villainize him like he's like the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they should villainize him because he basically almost slept with a child. One of his students that he's in charge of. But yeah, now they're like, you threw me in the water once, you fucking bastard. I was like, oh my God.
And I was pulled under by the ghost of it. He didn't know there was a fucking ghost boy down there, did he?
And he did pull you out again. I mean, this isn't... You're not the big villain of the piece.
No, it's the guy in the fucking hockey mask killing people. Anyway, Jason is fine. He kills Uncle Charles. He throws him out a fucking window, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Then he...
This is what I was talking about before. This is the worst teleportation bit. Anyway, Jason is behind him, and Uncle Charlie runs into this warehouse.
Yep.
And then Jason throws him out the window like a second later. There's no physical way he could have got there. So it's teleportation. That's the only thing.
And then after he's thrown him out the window, he dumps him into a barrel of toxic waste that just happens to be there in the street in New York.
Yeah.
This is how we end up with Ninja Turtles.
This is how Daredevil got blinded.
Yeah. I know it's New York in the 80s, but like, come on.
Yeah, toxic waste becomes a really important plot point from here on in.
Yes.
There's that where he gets like...
There's 15 minutes left of this film.
In the beginning of the film, where they're doing that weird shot with the weird voiceover, you do see like a rat hanging about on top of a barrel. I just assumed this was the same barrel. But it's now shredding. But yeah, then there's a dead rat.
No, it's Splinter, isn't it? Master Splinter, yeah.
There's a dead rat floating above. So I was like, nice callback.
Yeah.
No, it makes no sense. Still.
Then we learned that Rennie's parents died in some shitty dialogue.
Yeah.
So, my parents died. And we now have pretty much the full backstory of Rennie.
Yeah.
There's like,
all this time.
there's 15 minutes left of the film. You just don't care.
Yeah.
Didn't really care. Was just a bit confused. Now we know everything. Okay.
And Sean doesn't even... She's like telling Sean, she's like, oh, well, I remember when they told me my parents were dead. And Sean should have been like, so what has that got to do with Jason? Like, nothing. At all.
Nope. And then Jason chases after Rennie and Sean. They get on the subway.
Jason just fucking walks straight through the glass door.
Yeah.
I love this, because Jason fucking hates doors from here on in. He just walks through like it's not even there. They run down onto the subway.
Yeah, and then they get off the train, and then Sean tackles Jason onto the track where he is electrocuted, but Sean is fine.
Yep.
I'm just assuming because Jason's always soaking wet. That's why he's so conductive. But Sean is perfectly fine.
Did you see just before they go off the train, which Jason has already teleported onto, there's a bit where there's a poster on the side.
Is it Roy Schneider?
Is it Roy Schneider? They've drawn something.
Yeah.
Like that. But on the bottom as well, it says Jason lives.
Ah.
Written on the bottom. But yeah, so now Jason's been, because Sean tackles him, like jumps off the top ropes. Like, just like, "Rah!" So now Jason's electrocuted and he dies.
Yes, and Sean and Rennie, they emerge out of the sewer in Times Square.
Just in time to see a man wearing a big coat and no trousers. There's a guy walking past. He's like keeping he's a flasher, basically. He's holding his coat, but he's definitely got nothing on underneath that coat.
And they say, it's over. It's not.
Yeah, don't say that.
It's not.
That's just as bad as talking about your kids.
Yeah, because Jason has teleported into Times Square.
Yep.
And he's still fine. He's not dead at all. And they run away, and this is where you get that hilarious scene where there's like the punks with their stereo.
Listening to rap music.
Yep. And it's the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
And Jason walks past and just boots it.
Yep.
And then they're like, hey, buddy. And he turns around, he just takes it. You don't see it. He takes his mask off to show his face, and they run away scared.
Yeah, they're like, no worries, we'll just go.
And then Rennie and Sean go to the diner from earlier in the opening shots.
Oh, yeah.
Jason shows up. He kills the chef by throwing him into a mirror.
Well, the chef is a hulk of a man.
It's a big bloke.
Yeah, he just comes wandering through. Well, this is another door that he just like, fuck off! Fucking burst through. Like it's balsa wood, which it clearly is. But yeah, because they walk in, they're like, there's a madman after us. And the woman's like, welcome to New York.
Yeah.
And he's like,
welcome
fuck
to New
off.
Welcome to New York there, buddy, eh? She's actually doing a New York accent.
Yeah. Well, she's just stubbed her fucking cigarette out in somebody's dinner just seconds before.
Anyway, they run outside into another alleyway, then back into the sewer.
Yeah.
And then they bump into this one workman in the sewer who's all on his own, who informs them, right?
Yeah.
That the sewer floods with toxic waste every night at midnight.
Yeah, like it's normal.
Yeah.
Like the New York sewers every night are filled with toxic waste.
Yep.
What?
So you can't be down here. It's not safe. Why not? Well, in case you didn't know, we fill all this place up with toxic waste at midnight every night.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that?
That's why there's so many humanoid tortoises and stuff walking around.
To flush it down into the East River, obviously.
Yeah. Because obviously this goes out into the sea eventually.
Yeah.
It's a sewage system.
Isn't this is it Chud? This is how
Oh, yeah,
Chud
yeah,
started.
Chud, yeah.
And then the Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, everything.
It explains everything, yeah. It really does. Anyway, seconds later, he's killed, this workman.
Yeah, this is a weird death as well. This is the one I mentioned earlier. He kills the sewer worker in silhouette for some reason.
Yeah, and you get a bit of blood splatter on the
It's
wall.
almost like they were trying to make this film a PG.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not that
most
violent.
of the deaths are shit.
They are not great. Jason is then about to kill Sean, but Rennie stops him by shining a torch at him.
Yeah.
Which stops him.
Just distracts him.
Yeah.
He's like literally lifting up his machete and she's like, you! And he's like,
It's his fear.
My eyes!
Yeah. It's, his fear of like night shift security guards. Who goes there? Ah!
Imagine how stupid all those other kids that have died in the last 7 movies would have felt like, hang on, we can stop him with a torch?
And then Rennie finds a bucket of toxic waste, which is just
lying
there,
around.
which he throws over Jason, and this causes him to make elephant noises.
Yeah.
For some reason, and his mask falls off, and you see his ugly ass face.
Yeah,
He's all, I'm melting.
Yeah, it's a shit makeup job as well. The effects are not great.
No. And then Sean and Rennie climb up a ladder, but they can't get out, and Jason's at the bottom of the ladder, and then the toxic waste from earlier that they mentioned floods, just like he said. Oh, bang on time, midnight every night. Comes down and it kills Jason.
Yeah.
And
he's like, "Rrrr," and then it looks like he bursts into flames. Then it looks like he melts.
Yeah.
And
Does he vomit and shit at some point?
Oh yeah,
Stuff
just
shoots
before it turns up, he's so scared, he's sick.
Yeah.
he's like so weird.
And but they're fine. He doesn't fill the sewer.
No.
It just takes out like the bottom
Oh
bit
yeah,
where
they
Jason
don't get
is.
touched by this toxic waste.
No, they're fine.
Even though they're inches from it, and it's fucking flying down this this sewage system.
And when it washes away, little baby Jason is left there, dead in the sewer.
That's weird. Like in his pants.
Yeah, it's like, is this a vision? Who knows?
I don't know. Well, they both seem to see it.
Yeah.
Both Sean's having visions now. He's fucking traumatized.
It's the toxic waste.
Yeah, just turned him back into a little kid.
Yeah.
Dead kid in his pants.
Then they get back up on the street level. Oh, and then the dog shows up because
Oh yeah, they try and do that bait and switch sort of thing where you see it from
The point of view of the,
point of view, and like Jason's back, and you're not instantly like that's the dog.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
because
is.
it's like at ankle level.
Yeah.
It's the dog.
Yeah.
That's the end.
That is it.
That is it.
That is it.
Yep.
Yeah, not a lot of taking of Manhattan in this film.
No.
Not a lot of Manhattan in this film.
No, it's such a waste.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
just from the title, you're like, yes.
yeah,
That
Jason
sounds
stalking
amazing.
the streets of Manhattan
Yep.
would have been amazing.
Yep.
It is not this film.
No.
It's Jason on a boat,
Yep.
mostly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I have to say. It's not what it should have been
No,
at all.
not even slightly. The weird thing
It's like
about...
the greatest setting ever.
Yeah.
Dirty old New York.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, an uncountable number of victims you could have
Yes.
had, like, and stuff. Yeah, it should be remade and actually do what it says.
Yes, it really should. Yeah. Definitely.
This is a lot of people claim this one as their favourite of the franchise as well.
The thing is, this is probably my favourite, but I don't really care for any of them.
I mean, I quite like. I mean, I like them for what they are. I like the first one, and the second one's pretty good. Anything after that gets a bit. I mean, Jason X is. We've done Jason X.
We've done Jason X.
Hilarious, like funny as fuck, and I enjoy Freddy versus Jason. Don't care what anyone says. I enjoy it. It's not as good as it could have been, but I still enjoy it.
Last time I watched it, I remember hating it.
It could have been a lot better, but it's good. They're never. I don't think they're ever going to do it again.
No,
So
no.
I
I don't
enjoy
think
it
there's ever
for
going to be a
what it
Friday the
is.
13th film again because of the
The
legal issues.
the
Which,
rights.
it's
arguments,
such
which
a
is-
mess.
Yeah.
I was debating though, maybe not right now, but shall we just do them all at some point? Because they
May
are
as well. They are fun.
they are funny.
I did enjoy watching this because I was like, I can't wait to talk about this film because there's so many. It's horrendously put together.
Yes, it is.
The minute the boat turns up and they start calling it a cruise ship is absurd. I mean, that is. I've been on boats like that, and
You wouldn't call it a cruise.
you wouldn't call it a cruise. No.
Oh, yeah. Does not do what it says on the tin.
No,
Basically.
not even slightly. And the kills are shit. Most of them. Most
Yeah.
of the kills are shit.
Guy getting his head punched off. That's pretty cool.
That's fun.
Yeah, but generally, yeah, they are not.
But even that, like,
Yeah, a lot of them are off screen.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
even
not
that
great.
first one where he misses with the harpoon and then
Yeah.
stabs him with the gun instead. It's too weird to be
Yeah.
that good.
Ah, right. Trivia. Few bits. The budget of this, $5 million. It grossed $14 million. Even though it made a little bit of money, it's still considered it was like the worst performing of any of them. And it was because of this one that Paramount sold the rights to New Line Cinema.
Right.
Yes. Allegedly, Kane Hodder vomited for real at the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He puked on cue. He downed I can't remember how much. He's like a load of water.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it does
then
look
threw
like
it all
water
up.
coming out of it. That's that makes that slightly more impressive, that little bit.
The chef Jason kills towards the end of the movie is played by Ken Kersinger, who would go on to play Jason in Freddy vs. Jason.
Ah.
Yeah. Director Rob Hedden originally intended for more of the film to be set in New York. Well, duh.
Yeah.
And he wrote scenes involving Madison Square Garden, Brooklyn Bridge, the Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building. Paramount said no, because we can't afford that. It costs too much money. There was some point apparently where Jason was basically going to dive off the top of the Statue of Liberty into the water.
Oh, I want to see that version.
Yeah, but Paramount were like, well, we're not spending that kind of money on this. So we never got that. Many of the actors involved picked up on the plot holes, such as how a boat gets from a lake to the ocean,
No.
throughout filming, but didn't mention anything to the director or producer because they were just happy to have work. In the original script, Jason kicks the dog when he first gets to the dock. Kane Hodder thought this was taking it a bit too far, and the scene was scrapped. Like, punching a man's head off, fine. Kicking a dog, no.
Jamming a hot rock into somebody's chest.
Kane
Yeah.
Hodder's like, I'm not kicking that dog. That's just wrong. What's the matter with you people? That's sick. Anyway, Kane, we want you to gouge someone. I'll do it.
Yeah, no worries.
Rob Hedden, the director, he's since disowned this film, saying he's just as disappointed in this as the fans are. And the original poster for this created a lot of buzz. It featured Jason ripping through the classic I Heart New York poster.
Right.
However, after complaints from the New York Tourist Committee, they had to remove it.
Right.
No fun, are they? No fucking
Fun
fun.
police.
Yeah. Fun fucking dickheads. Your thoughts and opinions. Comments we asked. I got some.
Yeah, I got a few.
John to go first.
Okay. Tom Roberts. I adore this film. It's my favourite in the franchise. The scene where Jason fights the boxer on the rooftop is comedy gold. Disappointingly, nothing like this happened on my school trip to the States. Theodora de Winter. Absolute classic, and you must treat it with respect. It is not.
Shut the fuck up.
Luke Meadows. One of the first horror movies I saw. Just remember him punching someone's head off.
That's probably the most memorable bit, isn't it? Yeah.
Dan Jenkins. Some of the main crew from this worked on Friday the 13th, the series, 1987 to 1990. Which
the director did, yeah.
Yeah, which ran for a baffling 72 episodes.
I don't think I've ever seen any of it.
And I got 2 on Instagram, which was Inquisitive Minds. I like the part where he ran into the Warriors on the subway, kicked their butts, and then ran into Casey Jones in Central Park and beat him with a guitar. Okay, none of that happened.
No. Are you thinking of the Mutant Ninja Turtles, Phil? I think that...
I like your version better, but yeah. The Miss Dead Pony, which is Hannah, just put, yay, slasher time.
I have a real comment from her. It says, why are the kills so boring? It's fun, but the kills are not imaginative at all. Yeah, agreed, apart from the boxing match. Theodora de Winter is doubling down and just put porn.
Right.
Stark 2490. If they couldn't utilize New York to its full potential, then they shouldn't have done They should have done something else. Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Yes. My Little Slice of Hell Network. I always found Friday the 13th Part 8 was boring. I always thought Friday the 13th Part 8 was boring. They're all boring.
Yeah. They're all pretty much of a muchness. They're all the same.
I say it's boring.
Really.
It's sort of, it's interesting, like when you see like, oh, Jason Takes Manhattan, like, and he's outside of Camp Crystal Lake. Well, this is interesting, and then you watch it and you're like, this is ridiculous.
It's a squandered opportunity.
Yeah, how they blew it. That's interesting. Yeah. But the film itself, no, it's stupid as fuck.
So I always like the idea of Jason himself, because he's like obviously this unstoppable and unexplained force of evil that just kills people.
Yeah, like you said earlier, he dies as a boy, but his ghost is a man.
Yeah, it makes no sense, like at all. But like the idea of him's great, and like because he just kills like and doesn't stop. It's when like obviously you had is it the Rob Zombie? Did he do Friday the 13th? No, he didn't.
No, he did Halloween.
I can't remember what his name was. I do remember the guy. But anyway, when they started giving him backstory and stuff like that, it's like unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, you don't...
yes, Rob Zombie did that with Halloween as well.
Yeah.
It's like you don't need these characters that are. It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. These characters that are just absolute. They're just bad.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
Always people like, let's give it a backstory. No.
Yeah.
Doesn't need one.
Let's say he was abused. Like it doesn't matter. Like
no.
It doesn't. He just kills.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. Stop thinking about it too much.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was Jason Takes Manhattan. We might do all the other Friday the 13th.
Here and there.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I mean, if we're going to do them all, then we'll start doing them in order, I guess. This was just the one I was in the mood to watch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That.
Thank you if you're still here.
Cheers. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Ta-ta.
Well, thank you all for coming here tonight and drinking all of my booze.